I'm very excited to introduce two people, showing the way how systems engineering and SysML2 and system as code paradigm can connect to new areas not traditionally so much covered by systems engineering and MBSE, and that's finance. So Max Cramer, financial professional systems engineer working in financial services industry, an active member of German Society for Systems Engineering, has been exploring how formal financial ontologies can be made executable and auditable directly in SysMLv2. And Max Cramer's is at Munich Re, a financial institution, a big reinsurance company. And Hugo Ormo at NTT Data is a certified systems engineer, professional trainer who's leading UAF working group at the German Society for Systems Engineering. And yeah, he is always trying to bring new ideas to practice, and he's breaking ground with connecting SysML2 ontologies and using agents in very creative and powerful ways. So without further ado, Max Cramer and Hugo Ormo, the floor is yours.
Okay. Good afternoon, good morning, everybody. So we are going to present today an experience that we have run together on how to model something large and how to help ourselves on doing that. We're using mainly two enablers. One is an ontology, is the FiBO ontology, the financial industry business ontology. And the second one, that's an ontology. And the second one is SIRIA, is the Systems Engineering Reference Enterprise Architecture, which is a reference architecture. So it's a kind of a template.
Hi, everyone. Really, glad to present you together with Hugo our approach. So let's focus on our goal, right? So we are about to show you how an ontology-first enterprise engineering approach can be made operational with SysML version 2 and Sensymmetry. Our focus area in our presentations are, of course, our vision. This is where we start. And then we will show you the financial industry business ontology in a SysML version 2 library. And of course, with both Hugo and me are part of the GFSE working group working on the system engineering reference enterprise architecture. We'll also show you how the combination of both the financial industry business ontology works together with the reference enterprise architecture. Our case anchor, something we're working on together, a new operational procedure, and supporting a T architecture for an organization of interest. But of course, what we are discussing here today can be generalized and hopefully is useful for a lot of our listeners today. Our main claim here today is that an ontology-backed semantics with a system as a code delivery creates a traceable path from enterprise context to verification-ready architecture. So basically, the full V model. So our vision, right? Our vision, I just spoiled it a bit, right? Is that we use a formal ontology as a semantic contract. This ontology is used in a SysML version 2 workspace. It's a working architecture language. And we, of course, use also an enterprise structuring patterns we are working on to connect meaning, behavior, responsibility, and verification. So the value proposition you see here for everyone working as a system engineer won't surprise you too much, right? We're basically just adding a new way of achieving our old goals, so to say. And why this matters is that especially multi-actor enterprises fail at boundaries before they fail in code. So different stakeholders can't align on what needs to do, okay? Even if they can align that a project, for example, should be initiated, terminology drift destroys interoperability and auditability. Interoperability within companies, but of course also across companies, right? And of course, last but not least, architecture needs to stay readable to both business and IT stakeholders. Everyone working with IT implementation projects will know very well what we're addressing here. What our approach changes is that a shared semantics come first, not last. Okay? Let's not waste time in discussing what we actually mean. Once we achieve that, the responsibility decomposition is explicit. And of course, coming back to my mental V model again, requirements and verification needs to stay attached to the model. That's our vision. Hugo, passing to you for the actual approach.
Thank you. Yes, now I'll show you the two aspects that we have been combining together. So SysML2 and SysML3 as an enabling stack that help us. SysML2 contributes on the structural behavior verification constructs in a very cohesive way. Textual modeling that is especially useful when we work with libraries and large libraries, as you will now see that that the ontology that we have been working on is a large library, and version control really necessary, and a really good place to connect ontology derived types to actions as well, so that things are connected from the beginning in a semantical way, and the elements of the language have a meaning or carry a meaning with themselves. So SysML3 with the system as code logo, and it's not only just a sentence. It's a truly technological change breakthrough that allow us to check build SysML2 assets, faster integration on library-based modeling patterns and model validation. We are now experiencing Sysand going away from beta. That's going to be a big improvement as well when combining many libraries in one product, and a practical path from model source to reviewable outputs and quality gates. So semantic baseline, model checks, and stakeholder review all stays together. So what is FiBO? FiBO is a cross-sector semantic baseline. It's financial industry business ontology. It is not the process model. It is a stable, specific domain meaning layer that keeps actor exchanges interpretable. Long sentence. It helps us keep things understandable for everybody. So we have many aspects in this library: foundations and finance domains, typing chain mapping. So bringing the last element in our SysML model, in our enterprise model, with a backpack of semantics with it, and not any semantics that we found out on the ways, but the semantics from this ontology. Boundary stabilization, we are going to be talking with many other enterprises, and we were going to be interacting with other enterprises in our endeavor. And those enterprises are also talking that language, that FiBO language, which this enhances the cross communication, and is a governance anchor. It let us rule and govern the way we mature our model. So how is FiBO being used in this case? The model that we are working, the enterprise model, imports FiBO packages as a reusable library. The actor-side semantics are tracked back to FiBO through controlled specialization and subsetting relationships. That's what I meant, that we keep things tied up. Organization-specific types remain allowed, but they are anchored to shared semantics. So we keep mapping, we keep typing and typing as we need to type, but all the chain of types leads back to FiBO. So these allow us to enhance interoperability and understanding between parties at different levels of mapping, at different levels of modeling. The result is that the architecture can speak both languages at once: a local operational language specific for the team who's working on a specific local area, and FiBO grounded language for cross communication among teams and among companies, enterprises. The second party on this endeavor is SIRIA, Systems Engineering Reference Enterprise Architecture, and it's version 2. Version 1 was released last year through the Incosi shop. You can buy it, or you can get it for free if you're an Incosi member. That was the version 1 based on SysML1. But now we're working on system as code, we're working with Sensometry, and we're working at a different level. And we are using artificial intelligence, by the way, very intensively. And for this, we need SIRIA version 2, which is SysML2 version of SIRIA version 1. SIRIA is based on UIF. So we need the version 2 of UIF, so the SysML2 version of UIF, which is not yet public, but it will be public in June this year, so this month. So SIRIA version 2 is going to be soon released by our group, our working group, so everybody can enjoy it. What it provides: integrated strategic and operational decomposition of the organization. We have strategic and organizational viewpoints, and we can use those viewpoints to express these viewpoints across the organization. Collaboration and responsibility patterns. Those are created by SIRIA based on UIF. Tailoring principles, and a disciplined architecture scaffold that helps to, as a reference, as a template for your own endeavor. Very important, what is SIRIA not? It's not a replacement for ontologies. It's not a replacement for FiBO. FiBO is an ontology. SIRIA is a reference architecture, is a template, is a scaffold. It's not a process engine or simulation. It's not limited to greenfield enterprise design. And it's not merely a diagramming convention. It has logic, it has rational, everything is connected in SIRIA, and it helps you map your processes and map your enterprise through that what's already done there. And why SIRIA matters in this project? Obviously, we use all that wealth of ISO 15288 knowledge that is embedded in SIRIA through a very powerful language, UIF, to not start from scratch. We modeled an enterprise, and we don't have to start with the basics of the enterprise. We have already a template, and this is what SIRIA was providing to us. Combining them, FiBO and SIRIA. And so FiBO brings us the canonical finance semantics, the cross-actor reference frame, stable typing targets. What brings SIRIA to enterprise structuring, performer decomposition. Performer is an abstract way to say a department, team, company, division, and collaboration discipline. Collaboration discipline, all the connections between those performers that make the organization alive. Typing chain mappings, I mentioned 2 times, is how we keep semantic tidy, how we keep meaning to the enterprise structures and activities that we are modeling with the FiBO semantics. And back to you, Max.
Many thanks, Hugo. So let's look at the application and the results. So first thing first, how does the sequence look like, the pipeline, right? The first things first is you need to align on what you're about to do. That's the first point here. So why not use an ontology which is shared across organizations within industry, which describes your domain? In our case, it's a financial industry business ontology. We would, really also like to, of course, generalize this discussion to other types of ontologies, to other domains, because the main message is quite clear. After the first step, okay, you aligned on what you're about to do with no ambiguity. The second step, you basically look at the different, like the multi-actors, right? The different organizations, the different companies. You just take them as black boxes and you stabilize the boundary exchanges, so the interfaces. What does organization A do? What does organization B do? What do they actually exchange? Step 3 is then more inward, right? You use Syria to basically decompose your performer structures, meaning how exactly are you about to fulfill your role in this bigger picture, in this process across organizations, which internal performers, which of course have capabilities, constraints, also interfaces to other departments, for example, who does what internally at your side. And of course, step 4, you then link the requirements, the actions, the calculations, and the verification artifacts in SysML version 2. The reason why this matters is you don't spend too much time during your project. You basically get your contact straight right at the beginning of a project, of your initiative, and you then can actually focus on delivering the aligned on scope. In the next slide, you see why sensometry was important. Not going into too much detail here because I assume everyone here joining this conference today is well aware of the powers of Sysand, of Sysand, the package manager, right? We love working with it, especially the third point, right? Generating HTML and Excel views was important, really to also provide viewpoints or views which are readable, are digestible by people within our organizations who don't know SysML too much, right? So what's our main message here is, hey guys, you can just go to Sysand, right? I think right now it's running on the beta version. Sensometry is working on an update here, and you can just download our package, our SysML2 FiBO package via the Sysand package manager. And if you use it together with Syria, we are quite sure that what you get is really an enterprise transformation package, so to say, which serves as an engineering asset. So just to wrap up a bit here, so what's the value proposition? I think we mentioned already on the requirement specification side, you basically are like faster with higher quality, right? We talked about like the application, the interface integrations, no ambiguities on both sides, and of course quality assurance. Not only speed matters, but also quality assurance, right? So let's use these clearly defined data structures to just automate our whole test management.
That's it.
Thanks
Thank
so
you very
much. Wonderful. Thanks so much. Woo. Yeah, and actually the package is already live on Sysand.com. The new revamped and reworked Sysand, out of beta. We haven't publicized it yet much because the existing packages on the beta package manager are being migrated at the moment. So we want to announce it at Incosi within a good week. But you can already use it by just going to Sysand.com. So so that's a really great way to already take and use what Hugo and Max have done.